welcome to a very special Feeding Friday. This is going to be a challenging day. I have all of our little corn snakes out. See the racks here? They are outgrowing their racks, and so we are trying to raise money to help them get new cages. And look, some of them aren't even going to eat right now. Look at this little Miami-faced corn snake is really scared of the mouse I have for it. Let me put the mouse down and just see what happens here as we talk about what we're doing today. So we are going to feed every single one of these snakes for Feeding Friday right now, right here on this table as you sit here and you watch. I'll teach you a little bit about each one we're gonna, as it eats, and we're going to do, and then hopefully we can raise some money here so that when we move, which we are really hoping that we're going to be able to move and be open in a new space by early April, we will have brand new cages for all our baby corn snakes because they right now are outgrowing their baby racks. And they do really well in the baby racks as they're babies, but as they get bigger, we have got to get them into a bigger cage, into a bigger setup. So it doesn't look like the little Miami-faced corn snake. Oh, here she goes. Maybe she's going to eat for us. But Miami-faced corn snakes, this corn snake here is from, just like it sounds, from the Miami region of Florida. They have a really cool and beautiful gray background, and that's what makes them really unique down there in that part of Florida. And I don't think she's going to want to eat on the table. She is not like some of these other corn snakes. I'm going to start. How we're going to do this today is I'm going to start up here, and we're going to go across the rows. I have two snakes in here that aren't corn snakes. We'll leave them alone. But all the corn snakes will come out. We're going to feed them right here, maybe 2 or 3 at a time. And then we're going to put them all in here, all together. And now that becomes my challenge, is do I remember all their names? Do you remember all their names? So we will definitely have to see how that goes throughout the day. So I'm going to go ahead and put this snake back in a different cage, the Miami-phase one. We will get it out at the end and see if it'll eat again at the end there. But we'll just start. We're going to start down here at the bottom with this Okatee corn snake that we hatched right here at my nature lab. And here we go. Let's see here. Looking at that mouse. So Okatee corn snakes are from the Okatee region of South Carolina. It's not a very big place, and they have this really cool, beautiful background and these colors where they're from. Different from that Miami-faced corn snake. So these are have that orange and a lot more black on them. And we'll see. Come on, are you going to start eating? All right. So we've got this Okatee corn snake going. I've got to do more than one snake at a time because we have so many. And we have this little guy, another snake that we hatched at my nature lab last year. And this is an amelanistic corn snake. We'll put her down here. I'm going to say her probably for most of these snakes. I'm not sexing them today. That could be a whole nother video. Is what are they boys or are they girls? Are they male or are they female? It wants to eat, but it's all right. So now we've got 2 snakes going. So we've got the amelanistic. Amelanistic just means without black pigment, without any of the black. So that's why the amelanistic corn snakes tend to be orange or sometimes pink. And let's see here. Then we have, of course, one of our white corn snakes. You guys all know this one. This one is Olaf. And Olaf is a snow corn snake. And let's see here, Olaf, let's get you a bigger mouse. We'll get Olaf one of the black mice, which are just a little bit bigger. Olaf is a bigger one. Here we go, Olaf. You gonna eat that? Uh-oh, the little guy dropped its mouth. I moved too much. Let me get Olaf going here. All right, Olaf is so gentle at eating, and this little guy is crazy. All right, you eat that mouse. All right. So I'm going to stop moving while these guys start getting their eating going. As you'll notice, the Okatee is just now starting to eat. The amelanistic corn snake is starting to eat, and Olaf always eats. He's a champ. So as we talk about the different color patterns, these are things that occur in the pet trade only. Would you think a bright white snake would be able to survive in the wild in the southeastern U.S.? Probably not. What about a bright pink snake or orange snake, like the young one here that's starting to eat that mouse? What do you think about that one? Do you think that one would be able to survive in the wild? Probably not. Maybe for a little while, but once they got bigger, they would just be a target for any raptor, because raptors, hawks is what I'm talking about, they see in color, and they see it would be so easy for them to just pick it out and see it. Check out the Miami face corn snake right now. See, I had it out yesterday, and we're going to do a whole another video just on Miami face corn snakes. But as you watch this snake move, that pattern and that color, they just disappear. And so it's blurry. And we'll if you want to see the other videos that we make, the more educational, not so, well, they're all fun, but more of the ones that have the science in them, you can join us on Patreon and be a Virtual Lab Plus member and get access to all those really cool videos there. All right, I don't know, Olaf decided he was going to try to eat and then decided not to. Let's see if I can put it back in Olaf's mouth here. All right, Olaf, come on. So I got 3 snakes out that are eating. And so it's really kind of a I have to sit really still, and I wanted to cough there, and it was tough because anytime you scare a snake while it's eating, it may not want to. It may just spit it back up, because why? Their only defense are their teeth. That's the only way a snake can defend itself, and so they really need to be able to bite you if they're scared. Now, putting them out on a table like this with a bunch of bright lights and movement around, that's pretty scary for a snake to have to sit there and eat while all that's moving around. So it's kind of like going to a carnival and trying to eat your lunch as somebody is throwing those balls to knock you into the pool, into the dunk tank. And so you're eating your lunch as someone's and there's a big party around you. All that noise and commotion, you're really not going to want to eat, because you're also afraid of falling in that dunk tank. That's a weird analogy that just came into my head. That's kind of crazy. But so again, this is Feeding Friday. We're just going to make a recorded video here of all the corn snakes eating. As you watch them eat, how does a snake swallow something that's so much bigger than its head? If you've been here before, you know they have that extra bone in their skull called the quadrate bone, and that quadrate bone, it acts as an extra pivot. So let's see, this is our jaw fused together in the front, only opens with one joint right here. One joint fused together, right here. A snake's is not fused. The 2 dentary bones, that's what we call these bones, the 2 dentary bones are not fused. And so there's a ligament there so they can open up this way. And then they have that extra bone, the quadrate bone. Now watch. Even if they didn't have the quadrate bone, they can really open up their mouth pretty wide. But now you add that quadrate bone, and now look. So their jaws can move independently, the right side and the left side. Plus the top of their skull is super flexible as they walk forward to eat their prey. All right, so I've got 3 out. Let me try if I can get one more snake going here. We'll get out Amadeus. Remember, I'm gonna put them all in here when we're done eating, and I'm gonna have to remember who they all are to be able to put them away. I think I can do it though. All right, Amadeus. Unlike these other corn snakes here, we have the normal Okatee corn snake. We have the snow corn snake, which is Olaf. We have that unnamed amelanistic corn snake. Amadeus is an aneurystic corn snake, and erythromycin is the red pigments, and so they are lacking red pigments, and so they turn black. This color face does occur in the wild. It occurs naturally in parts of Florida near Lake Okeechobee, and it does quite well down there. Just because it doesn't have that bright pink where it might not be so obvious, or a bright pink snake is a lot easier to see. Let me see if I can get Amadeus going here. We'll get one of these for Amadeus. Here we go. He's thinking about it. All right, Amadeus. I'll put you down right there and let you get going with your mouse. All right, so now we've got 4. We've got the 3 main color phases that are in the pet trade. We've got the snow, the anerythristic, and the amelanistic. I know those are big words, but as humans, we have melanin in our skin, and that helps protect our DNA from UV light and sun damage. And so, if you think about that, so if you, as with snakes, without that, or with humans without that, we'd be pink. We'd be even not quite white like the snow corn snake. That's more of an albinism thing in humans, but the lower the melanin amount in us, the lighter our skin color is. And so you can see that in snakes as well. And so I'm going to get out one more snake here as we're going, and this is Lotus. And Lotus is going to come right out here. Lotus is a good eater. Watch this. Yep, there goes Lotus. All right, so let me get Lotus out. Let's see if Lotus will eat my hands. Lotus is what we call hypomelanistic. And with hypomelanistic, that means he still has black pigment, but not very much of it. And so so he's not as dark as the Okatee corn snake, but he's also not nearly as light as or he's not pink because he still has the blacks and brown pigments in him, so he's not pink or orange like the amelanistic corn snake. And so we call this one hypomelanistic, and hypo just means reduced, a reduced amount of melanin. All right, so it looks like we've got 2 of the 5 snakes out, are almost done with their meals, and then we'll start putting them into the 10-gallon aquarium here, and once we got them all in there, we will then see if I can name them all and put them back away where they're supposed to go. All right, so if we look, Olaf is done. It's just down. It's in his. He was the 3rd one to start, and he's the first one to finish. I told you Olaf was going to eat. So we're going to put Olaf. Oh, you can actually, if you look real closely, you can see that black mouse that we had fed Olaf through his white skin as he swallows it, which is just amazing. They're transparent. You can actually see their hearts through this type of corn snake. All right, so Olaf will be the first one to go in there. Oh, don't fall, Lotus. Do not fall. All right. Oh, and then I say don't fall, but the Okatee fell. Okatee and snakes. Corn snakes can fall. They're master climbers, and they fall out of trees all the time. So it just a little fall like this doesn't hurt them one bit. So the Okatee corn snake is done. All right, let's put that guy out of the way. All right, so let's look at this amelanistic corn snake. It is almost done. And then the hypomelanistic is almost done. And then, of course, Amadeus there is taking his sweet time, just slowly getting started on eating that mouse. So we will put these 2 in there, and I will get out some more snakes. Again, this is Feeding Friday, and we're trying to, if you go down there in the link and contribute to our moving funds, it will allow us to get new cages. These are our babies. This is a rack setup that is designed for starting baby corn snakes, and they're finally too big for it. So as we move the lab, which we're hoping to have a new place open for you in April, we will then be able to, as we're building out that new lab, the new space, have a bigger and better and more exciting and bioactive enclosures for these corn snakes. What does that term bioactive mean? Well, we're pretty excited about the opportunity to do bioactive, because that means we don't have to clean as much poop. With a bioactive enclosure, there are lots of organisms like springtails and isopods that live in there with the snakes and with the animals that then clean up the poop for us, or clean up the poop residue of the big pieces that we don't pick out. It's really fascinating. It's a lot healthier for the snakes. It's actually just like they live in the wild, right? They would be bioactive. There'd be all sorts of things living, helping them out there in the wild. So I'm going to let Rosie grab this. Oh, there we go. Rosie grabbed hers. Rosie's one of the favorites. We get out Rosie all the time when we have open lab. And look, there goes Rosie. She is constricting that mouse, which is just kind of crazy. So corn snakes are constrictors. They squeeze their prey. They don't suffocate it. A lot of people have that idea that when a snake is a constrictor, it suffocates its prey. Yes, the prey can't breathe, but it takes a while to kill an animal by just not letting it breathe. In order for the oxygen to deplete in the blood system, there's always going to be some oxygen. What actually is happening, and it's not happening with the dead mouse that I just fed Rosie, but what actually happens is that the blood pressure of the prey item rises so high that the heart just can't pump blood anymore, and it gives out. So it has a heart attack. It dies of cardiac arrest or heart failure, and that is what's happening when a snake is constricting its prey. It's just fascinating. All right. So obviously Rosie is an amelanistic corn snake. I have another snake here. This guy is Whisper, and we're gonna let me let Whisper grab this mouse in here. Whisper is kind of a neat snake. And Whisper, look at him, he's gray. We call this variety Ghost. And with a ghost corn snake, they're anurethrystic. They're the same as this one, but they have another set of genes in there that actually reduces the amount of gray or black in it. So it's like a anurethrystic snake. And so that's why they're a light gray, or we call them Ghost. Whisper also has another trait that we haven't talked about yet, and that is, if you notice all these other corn snakes we've been looking at or been feeding, they have blotches on their back, big dark blotches. With Whisper, we call it a motley pattern, and instead of the dark blotches are all attached, and they have round light spots on their back. And so instead of the light spots being separate in a motley, all the light spots, are instead of having all the light spots connected and the dark spots separated, it's opposite on the motley. Watch how fast Whisper just takes down that mouse. He is a champ at eating. Whisper came to us, and Whisper, for the first 3 or 4 months of his living here at my nature lab, he would not eat on his own. We had to assist feed him, and it's something I don't like doing. I don't recommend it. It's really hard. The snakes don't, it just seems like it's mean to put food in its mouth and then make it go down their throat. They should be able to eat on their own, but a lot of these snakes, when they've been bred in captivity for so long, they've lost that initial feeding instinct of eating prey. Or there's another thing, is that these snakes in the wild eat mostly lizards when they're little, when they're babies, and not eating mice. And so he may not have recognized mouse as food. But look at him now. It's not a big deal. He is a champion eater. He is going to eat these, or eat faster than these other 2 snakes here. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We fed 4. Whisper's going to go in there, so that's 5 that are done. I think we have 25 snakes we got to do. So you're in for a treat here with Feeding Friday. The corn snake edition, baby corn snake edition, I should say. All right, so this snake that I'm getting out now, this guy is named Little, and I'm gonna give Little one of these. Don't fall, Rosie. Rosie's here, and then Amadeus is still working on his mouse. Maybe it was a little bit big for Amadeus. So I'm gonna give Little here this mouse in the cage. Here he goes. All right, he's got it. I'm gonna pull on it. Oh, he's gonna bite me instead. He's so he dropped the mouse, and now he's gonna go after me. So I'm gonna put it here. There we go, my Little. There you go. You got it. So Little is another aneurystic corn snake. You see how he's smaller than Amadeus, and he's a little bit different color, but you can see that it is definitely a aneurystic corn snake with his color pattern. All right, I'm going to see if I can move Rosie back over here. There we go. There's Rosie, and there's Little. Boy, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me to get all these things. So we talked a little bit about the motley color pattern in Whisper. I have another motley here. This is Snowball. Let me see if I can find Snowball. Actually, Snowball's not the one I want. I want Bubblegum. Bubblegum. Let me get Bubblegum here. Yeah, offer him the mouse. I know you can't see this, but there, Bubblegum's got the mouse now. And if we look at Bubblegum, Bubblegum is a snow motley. And so Bubblegum doesn't have any of the black or red pigments, so Bubblegum is white. Still has yellow. It's really hard to get rid of that yellow, the yellow pigment in corn snakes. So they're really not a true albino because they still have a little bit of yellow on them. But has that motley pattern. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but definitely has a really fun pattern. When I was in high school, I was going to be the first person ever to breed a snow motley corn snake. I had a motley corn snake. I had a amelanistic corn snake, and I had an aneurystic corn snake. And I had to get that motley gene into the genes of these two, because believe it or not, if you breed an amelanistic corn snake with an aneurystic corn snake, 1 out of every 16 babies on average will be white, will be snow. And so you have to there's a whole way, and we'll do a virtual lab plus lesson on Punnett squares and the genetics on how this works. But you have all the right. I was going to breed that motley gene into the amelanistic corn snakes, breed that motley gene into the aneurystic corn snakes, and then breed those two together, and then I would make the world's first snow motley. I never did it. I never got there. I found out that I preferred to find snakes in the wild and become a biologist rather than have snakes in my home and breed them as a herpetoculturist. Herpetoculturist is what we call that, somebody who breeds snakes at home. And so I just found out personally that I preferred to do the wild thing, the research on them outdoors. And so that's why I quit breeding corn snakes. All right, so really quickly, we have Amadeus finally finished. Little is still working on his. There's Amadeus. There's that mouse right there is zipping down into his belly. And then we've got, looks like Rosie is finally done. Oh, Amadeus getting here. It looks like Rosie is finally done. Here we go. There's Rosie. Looks like Snowball's almost done. All right, let's see who's in this one. Oh, we've got another genetic trait to talk about. So we just talked about motley. I'm gonna wait on this guy, and we're gonna see if I can find another a different. Actually, let's do that. We'll go ahead and go in that. So we have the motley genetic trait of pattern where the pattern is different, and then this one is our striped corn snake. So if you look at that, this snake has stripes, and actually it's missing the pattern on its belly. So you can see the stripe there, and so it is a striped corn snake, and it's missing the pattern completely on the belly. Most corn snakes have a checkerboard or Indian corn pattern or piano key pattern on their belly, but not the stripes. All right, let me see if I can get this guy going here. All right, the striped corn snake's going. I've got to put Snowball into the tank full of corn snakes here. So Snowball will go in there. All right, now let's see. So we'll let the striped corn snake, that's just another genetic mutation that's been bred in corn snakes. And what it does is the patterns all come together and forms a long stripe. That occurs naturally in things like California king snakes, but it does not occur naturally in corn snakes. Although I should say that there are some pattern. Oh, I'm putting away Little. He's almost done, but I'm gonna go ahead and put him away so I can get out some other snakes here and keep going with this Feeding Friday frenzy with the baby corn snakes. I don't know. So if you look at that, the stripe pattern is really neat, and it's kind of a unique. I'm gonna since he's the only one out on the table, I'm gonna take a picture of it so I can insert this picture into the video, and so you guys can see how fun and unique that striped pattern is for corn snakes. Boom, there we go. We got that picture. All right, so the next snake I'm going to do is, it's kind of a hypomelanistic, but at the same time, it's got a lot, the reds are really elevated. So it's almost like a Miami phase hypo. And this snake is Vidya. And so if you look here, so Vidya is also constricting her little mouse there. And so look at her go. There she goes. Wow, she's constricting it. So she's a little bit different than the last hypomelanistic lotus that we looked at, in that her reds are a lot darker and the background is a little bit lighter. And that's kind of indicative that maybe it's a Miami phase hypomelanistic. Corn snakes, I mean, when there's over 200 different shades of color or color types and pattern types, it's really hard to get it exactly right unless you know the mom and dad and what their genetics were and how they were bred when they were bred. So we just know it's a hypomelanistic, and that is Vidya, who we just got out. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and finish this row, and then I gotta go finish Amadeus's row. Oh, so here is another anurethrystic corn snake. I don't remember this one's name. It's not written down on the tail. Oh, this one may not have a name, actually. All right. So look at this little pretty guy here. So this is another anurethrystic. Has a lot more yellow than those other anurethystics did. And so let's just let this one get going with eating there. So that's the rest of that row there. So let's see here. I'm going to get out another hypo so we can compare it to Vidya. This is just another normal corn snake, but if you compare it to Vidya, another hypomelanistic, but this one has more of the, this one was hatched here at my nature lab. But if you look at this one, see how much more orange it is than Vidya. So this one's Vidya here, and then this one here is much more orange, but it's also lacking all that black. So this is almost like a Okatee hypomelanistic corn snake. All right, so that's kind of a neat thing to see. Wow, this is just so awesome. I have 4 snakes out, all eating right here for us. I'm gonna take a quick picture from my view. I know you guys have that view and then that view, but let's take a quick picture here from my view, which is just, I just love it. I've fed thousands of snakes in my lifetime. I've even fed wild snakes that you find in the wild, and you know what? Look at this snake trying to get out here. That was funny. It was just poking his head right out. And I still get excited every time I feed a snake. It's just such a fascinating thing to watch these animals eat a prey item without arms and legs. It's just staggering to me that they can do it. I'm always in awe that their ability to eat prey items. All right, so Vidya is almost done. It looks like this amel or the hypomelanistic that we hatched here at my nature lab is almost done. It looks like the striped one is taking its sweet time, but it got a bigger mouse. We'll just give it we'll just, let me see if I can move. This would be cool with the other video, since I have the two cameras going. There you go. Now you can see all 4 of them eating in one frame. That is just incredible. Oh, it's just awesome. So, like I said, watching a snake eat never gets old. It is just one of the most exciting things for me. Seeing it in the wild, though, takes it up a whole nother level. We got lucky on one of our field trips with our field members, and we found by sound, I heard a vole squeaking, and that alerted me to that a snake was probably biting it. And so what I found was a bull snake eating a vole, and it didn't even bother constricting it, which was just amazing. It was just eating the vole alive. Bull snakes are powerful, really strong constrictors, one of the strongest in North America. Yet it was just eating this vole alive because it was it was all it was going to do. It was just going to eat it. But that alerted us to it, and so we got to watch on a field. One of our My Nature Lab field trips, we got to watch a bull snake in the wild eat a vole naturally. And I found so many snakes eating prey based on sound more than sight. So frogs, when a snake grabs a frog, it makes a release call. That once, I don't know if you've heard Bertha make a release call when we hold her, but Bertha will make a release call and saying, "Let go of me." And what we think that is to maybe attract another predator by sound to the snake that's eating it, and maybe the frog can survive. Or who knows? Frogs do release calls during the breeding season when another frog grabs the wrong sex, or the frogs aren't ready to mate yet. They'll make a release call then as well. But so we really don't know why they make the release call, but it works for us to help finding those snakes while they're eating. It's just one of those. It's just a fascinating, and I listen for snakes when I'm out in the woods all the time, and it's amazing how many snakes you will find if you listen rather than just use your eyes. All right, so it looks like little is done. Oh no, this is not little. This is the unnamed aneurystic. Oh, these guys are starting to come out. I'm gonna have to get something on top of this cage to keep them in there. All right, so I'm gonna finish this next row, and then we'll go up here to the top rows. Man, we're doing well. We're really cruising through these guys. All right, so this next snake that we're gonna feed is named Bobble. And Bobble is going to grab that mouse. Bobble is another amelanistic corn snake, meaning it doesn't have any black pigments. Look at it. Look at Bobble constrict there. Definitely going to constrict. All right, watch out for the stripe. All right, so there's Bobble. And then we're going to finish this row off with another snow corn snake. This is just a normal snow coming right out here. And there's a normal corn snake we'll put it right here to let it get going and eat that mouse there. So now we have, in terms of colors, we've got a snow, which is the combination of amelanistic and aneurystic genes. We've got an amelanistic, and then we've got a striped ghost, which is a type of aneurystic, but has that striped pattern. It's just amazing, all the different varieties of corn snakes. It never ceases to amaze me. What the genetics. It's just like humans. I mean, our genetics are just so diverse, and diversity is such a powerful thing, especially in evolution. Without diversity, things would always be the same, and then when the environment changes, when you're always the same, your species is going to get wiped out. And so you need to have that diversity. All right, so we've got 2 more rows to do, and then a couple snakes up here at the top. So. Wow, this is awesome. I was going to wait for the striped one to finish up here before I get out another snake. Well, let's see. Let's just see what we got, though. All right, so this is another amelanistic corn snake, but if you notice, you can see a lot of white or lighter yellow. between all the scale, between all the on the blotches there, and those are that's because this is a reverse or this is another one that we hatched here at my nature lab. It has the color pattern is a reverse Okatee is what they call that. Instead of having black, those big black bands that the Okatee corn snakes have, it has narrow, thin bands that are or wide yellow bands, or sometimes they're white on the amelanistic. That is just, it makes a pretty color. All right, the stripe is now done. I'm gonna go ahead and put him back away here, and I gotta get these other guys who will keep climbing the cage put away, put them back in there. This is getting full. It's kind of fun to see all those snakes. All right, so that was that snake there. All right, now the next one we're gonna get out is Celeste. Celeste is another ghost motley corn snake. Oh, Celeste is looking right at me here. Let's put this here. Celeste is another one that when we first got these babies, Celeste wouldn't eat. Celeste wouldn't eat on her own at all, but now look at her. Look at her go crazy constricting that mouse. She's definitely a good eater now. Don't know why sometimes they just don't eat when you get them as babies. We kind of talked a little bit about that. Maybe it's because in the wild they're eating lizards and they don't recognize mice as food yet, but they do eat mice in the wild. So that there haven't been enough studies done on that, or maybe it's because the genetics, they just haven't been. They've been bred too many times, so the feeding response out of the egg just isn't there. All right, I'm losing a snake here. I gotta reach in here and grab it. This is that. This one is the reverse Okatee. It goes in cage 12. All right, let's see what's in this one. Oh, another one that we bred here. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous snake. Let me put you back up here. You stay right there. All right, so this is just a plain old Okatee. And look how gorgeous this snake is. It's got browns that, as this snake gets older, you're not going to eat. Oh, you're going to strike. That was a defensive bite. I don't know if you guys saw that. That is a defensive bite. And so this one is a little bit scared. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in here. We'll try again in a second. Actually, that snake looks like it's about to shed its skin. So maybe we came to our first one that's not going to eat for us. Because when they're shedding, they don't like to eat very much. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put away. Oh, my brain just disappeared on me. Oh, this one is number 21. I remember that. So 21 goes in there. I got them all mixed up now, don't I? Look at all these corn snakes in that tub. Woohoo! It is fun, fun, fun. All right, another one that we hatched here at my nature lab. Sticking its head out of the, oh, there it goes, it got it. And look how pink this one is. That is one pink amelanistic corn snake. Let's see here. Can you see how pink that's? I mean, just gorgeous. We'll just let that one eat right there. Just stunning. I mean, I'm going to take a picture of this one because you can't get it. I mean, that is just, it's just. So, the mom of this one is Sunshine. I don't know if you guys know Sunshine. Sunshine is one of our corn snakes. They call them a sunburst, I think, is what the color morph. So it's amelanistic, but they're really, really orange, like the sun, and so they call them that. And so that's why some of these little babies are really pretty. All right, let me put a Celeste away. I'm gonna put away this amelanistic. Let it eat it. Finish swallowing in here with all those other guys. All right. So that's 9. Oh, we said 10. We're gonna wait on. All right. Now let's climb up here a little bit, and then we'll get to this. This is another Okatee. I'm gonna get the Okeetees all mixed up, but that's okay. As long as we get the name ones back where they need to be. Here we go. You gonna bite it? Snake's taking his sweet time. That's kind of funny. Opens its mouth up, puts it on the mouse, but then it's not a powerful constrictor like these other guys were. Come on. Come on, they're waiting. They're waiting for you. All right, we'll pass on you and come back. Maybe that one's gonna shed too. Here we go. I can see his head peeking out at me right here. Got it. So another little Okeetee that we hatched here at my nature lab. There we go. And we'll get Snowball out at the same time. I think I can put away the reverse Okeetee here in a second, but let's get Snowball out. Where's Snowball? There you are. Snowball's way back in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the drawer out and offer Snowball a chance. Snowball is a snow motley as well, but it's not a very defined motley pattern like bubblegum is. The Snowball's still a gorgeous snake. Put Snowball down right there. All right, so this is a zigzag corn. Oh, you dropped your mouse. It went after my finger instead. So zigzag is another color or another pattern. I don't know if you can see on this snake that it's got zigzags down its back rather than blotches. Go this here, and I'll get the zigzag corn in the camera view here in a second. But let me get these guys back in here. This is just too much fun. So like I said, we're trying to raise money for the new cages for these guys when we move. And so we have this new fund of money that we're trying to raise for the move. And so if you could donate, the link's down there. It's just a PayPal donation link. Any amount helps. There's 3 suggested amounts, but you can also click any amount you want to give us. Or donate 4 cages that when we go to the new building. That money is just earmarked just for helping us build out the new facility. And with these guys, just so I give you another idea of what we're planning for them, is we want to do a bioactive enclosure. That means we're going to have living tree in there, and we're going to do big. So we're going to keep these corn snakes in groups of maybe 2 or 3 snakes in each group, and so each one will have a tree, an underground part that's open to viewing from the outside, and then we also have to have access to them so we can get them out so that you can interact with them during our lesson portions. So there's the zigzag is now eating there. You can see that now. So any amount will help if you just click on that link and make a donation. It's part of our Feeding Friday Frenzy corn snake cage. Like I said, they're babies. This is awesome for babies, but it's time to move them out. And by April 1st, we're hoping we can have that new setup. All right. So it looks like Snowball is already done. Snowball was quick there with eating her mouse. Let me put her back in there. Now remember, I didn't the sexes. I'm saying he, she. It's because I remember their names. I don't remember their who they are. In terms of their boy or girl, I would have to go back and sex each one of them, but that would be a whole different video. All right, so now let's try Let's try this Okatee again. This one that was being slow. All right, this time it bit. So this one's gonna eat. All right, so this Okatee finished. So it can go in here. They are so quick when they want to get out, aren't they? All right, so I'm getting a lot of bedding here, but you can watch that Okatee eat as the zigzag corn is wrapping up its meal. I'm going to take a picture of the zigzag so you guys can see that, the pattern, how it's zigzagged instead of striped or blotched. And it's not the whole body of the snake, it's just a part of it that is zigzagged. And some of them will have that all the way down there, the whole length of their body. All right, looks like we've got 3 left. Remember, these 2 snakes are not corn snakes. We got another Okatee up here. Got a lot of Okatee corn snakes. They're neat snakes, that's for sure. Oh, wow. Uh-oh, come on, grab it again. I think I scared it. I'm gonna put this right there, and we'll see if it starts eating that, and then I'll get it out. That's one of our youngest snakes, and so it's still a little bit nervous. Notice how we don't hold the little guys. I know we hold a lot of these a lot more, but when they're really little, we just let them be, and we don't hold them. Yeah, these snakes are using themselves to climb out of the cage, and it's getting hard to keep them all in there. All right, so then we've got this one over here. Let's see, I'll take this all the way out. And no, I actually have the wrong size prey for this one. I have to go get a, I'll have to go get a, and it's actually shedding too, so it probably won't eat. But this is one of our smallest babies. Look how tiny this snake is. So I will have to go get pinky-sized mice, so we won't feed this one during the Feeding Friday video, but this one will get a little tiny pinky mouse. I got out the fuzzies and the hoppers for today with all the bigger ones. But we'll put that guy right back there so that you can see it. And look who's hungry. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I keep hearing him behind me. Remember, I listen for snakes when I'm out and about. I keep hearing Salazar. He is definitely hungry. He is wanting to find himself a rat. He's all moving around in that cage, so maybe we'll have to get him a rat this weekend and feed him a rat. But let's. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. All right, so I said I had the one more that was going to shed. Oh, we have this one here to try to see if it's. No, it's not. Yeah, well, that one's a little scaredy cat too. We'll try this one again and see this one that was going to shed, and see if it will take this mouse. Nope. So I'm just going to put this in here, and I'll check on it later. But so we have these 3 here that we're not getting out. There are some of our smaller snakes, and I really didn't want to throw them in there with all that. So we'll wait for this Okatee here to finish its mouse, and then we will see if we can put them all back. How about that? You think we can do it? I don't know. It's definitely going to be a challenge. So, corn snakes, I grew up, they were some of my first snakes. They were being bred like crazy for as pets in the 80s. When I was when I was really 10, 11, 12, when I started getting deeply into snakes. I've always liked snakes, but I always bring snakes home, and they sat on the kitchen counter for a while till they got released again. But when I started keeping pet snakes, I started keeping corn snakes because they make great pets. You can see how we use them all the time at my nature lab for when we hold them, and we're just so grateful to have such amazing snakes for you to hold and for you to interact with and to learn about their foraging ecology, how they eat. Where they're from, and what exactly a snake is, and they're perfect for that. Do I recommend everybody get a pet snake? Probably not. unless you're really, that's a lot of reallys, into snakes. Snakes are kind of boring pets. When you get them out and you're holding them, they're awesome, they're amazing. But you don't get to watch them move around in their cage much. Most of the time they're hidden. Most of the time you won't see them. This one, he's going to strike at me. You ready for this? There it goes, just striking at me. The babies do that. Remember, its only defense is its mouth. It's scared to death, and it's gonna just bluff at me. But if you can go through all those realies and say I still want a pet snake, I would start with a corn snake. They are by far the easiest snake to take care of, because they eat mice that have been in the freezer, so you don't have to go get live mice for them, and they rarely, if ever, bite. And always the bites, if they do bite you, is always probably going to be associated with fear. And then they don't really bite to hold on. So you watch this snake here. Fear is it's not even biting me. It's just trying to scare me with a fast motion. And it's not trying to bite me. They don't want to bite in defense, because if they hook their teeth into you, then they risk getting hurt themselves. So they really, when they're in defensive mode, they're striking. But if I were to grab this snake, it probably would bite me, because it's too late now. It's been grabbed. It definitely wants that. But then they bite out of food mode. And so if your fingers smell like mice, or your fingers smell like a rat or a bird or something like that, the corn snake might bite you then. But it's not like a python bite. It's definitely not like a venomous snake bite, which is only experts, and I don't like using the word expert, should keep a venomous snake, because there's expert's the wrong word, but there's lots of different safety protocols that you need to have in place for that, and it's actually illegal here in Colorado for you to have a venomous snake. So you can't even entertain the idea here. But if you have a corn snake, they're the perfect first snake. All right, so we fed them all. Now what? Now we got to put them all back. So I'm gonna so the snake that's really defensive and trying to strike at me, to pick it up, I'm putting my hand over the top of it. Just a little technique that I've learned a long time ago. If they bite my palm, it's no big deal, but now look. And so now if you see the snake that was just striking and just trying to bite me just a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, now it is completely chill and calm because I put my hand over it. Just a technique if you have a pet snake at home that is kind of always scared of you. It's one way to calm them down pretty quickly, is to cover them up. All right, now comes the challenge. Where do all these snakes go? All right, so let's put this one away. One of the Okeetees, so these two are Okeetees here, and so we'll get them back to as best we can. But right quickly, let's turn this here, and so we can see this mass of corn snakes. I'm going to stand up and do a little quick video here of them all trying to get out for you. Before we put them all away. That's a lot of corn snakes. And they've pooped in there. So one thing about snakes is when you feed them and you put them in a clean cage, they always poop. It's just something that's really crazy about them, is when you put them in a clean cage, they're always gonna poop. All right, let's see if I can do it. I know that this one is Celeste. Let me check. Yes, this one is Celeste. Celeste goes here. So we might have to do this by process of elimination, actually. So I see Vidya. Vidya climbing up right here. Look at that. And so I know Vidya because she's that darker red hypomelanistic. She's one of a kind. We don't have any other snakes that look like her. All right. There goes Vidya. All right, this guy that's getting away real quick right here, this is Whisper. Whisper is the lighter gray of our two ghost motleys. Whisper goes here. Wow, I'm doing all right so far. Am I though? Oh man, am I? I got all these snakes and I don't know where they all go. All right, well let's get the ones that are getting away here. So we've got here, it looks like I've got Amadeus. And I know Amadeus because Amadeus has this fun pattern on his on it right there. So that's Amadeus. And then this one is another one of the hypomelanistics, and this was one of the this one is, let me look. Nope, this one's Lotus. So that's Lotus. Lotus gets put away. All right, who we got escaping over here? We've got one of the little Oketees. And this one was this is the Hypo Oketee. This is a cool snake. So the Hypo Oketee, I think, was over here in number 4. All right, who we got escaping over here? Oh, we just got a regular Oketee. We'll put that one in number 2. Let's see if I can find Snowball. So we put Snowball away up here, and Snowball is a ghost corn. Here's Snowball. No, that's Olaf. Let's go ahead and put Olaf away. Oh, the striped one's getting away. Ah, I got it. Put it back in here. So this is Olaf. We're going to put Olaf away. That's just one of the anti-arthritics. This one was in number 14. This is always fun. This is fun. Remember that another one of the this is little. This is an anti-arthristic that's little. Little goes up here. All right, the stripe. There's the stripe. Goes down the bottom row in the middle. Next to Olaf. That one lives next to Olaf. All right, let's see who else we got. This is the this is an amelanistic, the sunburst amelanistic. I think it was over here in number 12. That one is not as important to get the number right as it is with the ones with the names, because I might know the names, but maybe the Dallas or Erica or Becca, they don't know the names when they're getting them out for programs. They just rely on the names on the cage. But I would bet all 3 of those guys know these snakes now pretty well. All right, so here's the Oketee that we we should be getting a name for soon. That one is the biggest one of all the little Oketees. All right, then we got Garnet here. That was the reverse Oketee. His name was Garnet. Put away Garnet. And then we've got, let's see here. I don't want to do that one yet. Oh, we got Rosie running away. This is Rosie. She's running away. Put her back in there. And I've got to find Snowball. Bubblegum. This is Bobble. Here. Wait, hold on. Nope, this is Bobble. Yep, this one's Bobble. I can tell, see the different color orange, and this one has the stripe on it. So that's the stripe one. So Bobble goes there. Striped one goes here. All right, we're down to 4 snakes. All right, so these 2 are our Motley Snows. And so we have Snowball and Bubblegum. And Bubblegum is the smaller one there. So that's Bubblegum. Put away. Bubblegum does not want to go away. Like I said, we're trying to fundraise for those bigger enclosures so that there'll be a lot it'll be real exciting for them, and they'll be happier. All right, so now we've got another. We got the sunburst, and we've got another just a normal snow corn snake. This one goes down in 21. The normal snow corn snake does, and then this one goes in number 9. That's a gorgeous snake. All right, we did it. Let's check on these snakes that I left mice in with it. Look at this. Remember that snake that I said wouldn't eat, but it ate in his cage. So there we go. We've got success there with that one that ate, and we left a little mouse in with it. And then where was the other one that we did that with? Was it this one? Yeah, it was. And that one ate. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's the one that's going to shed soon. Number 10 here. And guess what? The one that's going to shed soon ate as well. And so there we go. We'll put that down there, and you can see the lump where it just ate. It just ate. Awesome. All right, so we'll put that guy away. So, woo! We got them all fed except for the little tiny guy. I'm going to get that one fed. Just now, I'll go thaw out a little mouse for it. But that is a feeding Friday frenzy corn snakes. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And you could see all the different corn snakes that we have here. All the different baby corn snakes that we have here at My Nature Lab. We didn't do the adults. So you'll have to come in and see the adults. All right, everybody. Enjoy your Feeding Friday.